Sin boob pics like this with less hair.
That was a bad shake.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 17, 18 of the Strobing Butt Plug. This is a rather special episode because Williams is doing trailer trash beers instead of craft. Williams has drunk nothing but craft beers and fancy shit for all these here episodes, so now we're drinking some trailer trash beer. We have no mystery beer this week.
We kind of technically do.
Kind of technically do?
Because with all the beers that's sitting there, the one that we're going to drink, it's not suspected until we actually drink it.
Okay, that's fair. So we do have one. At any rate, I am this week's host, Ron, and these are my lovely co-hosts, the beautiful Missy, and the amazing Ariana, and of course our extra special guest,
The buddy.
The kitty. Old man wanted to join us. So we all went out and got special outfits. I pulled the sleeves off of a flannel shirt and I got my sexy chest hairs to show them. That'll get some kind of bear likes or something.
I didn't go anywhere. This was in my closet. Because I am white trash.
There she is. I got my goodwill and my lovely shoes.
I'm doing a proper redneck. I was barefoot.
I did the shoes. I had to have the shoes.
So, before we get too into this, what shall we go for first?
I'm going with the hams because it's so gross you have to drink everything else to wash it down.
All right, we have talked about this many times.
I have a craft beer over here to wash it down. I'm still
pre-beers.
That's right.
I'm slow.
We had pre-beers at my home brew for the pre-show. So we're going to start off with the elegant and very expensive exclusive hams.
Ooh, we have the...
Got a little bit too much brightness on there.
We do. It's not right brightness.
The King's more shiny.
You have to do it like they do the makeup tutorials.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can just try it over there. Try it. There we go.
All right, that's the money shot. So Miss Missy went out of her way and spent tons and tons of money to acquire this hams. How much did this hams cost for a 30-pack?
$16 for a 30-pack.
Keep in mind, we have on occasion spent at least that much on a single can of craft beer.
Is Busch Light cheaper than that?
I don't know. I've never bought a 30-pack of Busch. And I know when Larry's dad used to buy these, they were like $8 a 30-pack.
Since we do our normal thing,
I mean, I can find out.
let's see.
Google tells me things.
That's right.
Hams is famous, 1895. This was brewed in your mom's asshole.
Ooh.
It doesn't say, but
Thanks, Mom.
Cincinnati, Ohio. I think that's where they're brewed out of.
Let's see.
I don't know what the proof is, but it can't be a whole lot.
America's classic premium beer, born in the land of sky blue waters, brewed in the family tradition from purest water and choicest barley malt, grain, and hops.
Choicest.
So probably just barley, malt, and hops, if they're being as cheap as they are.
It's Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
$18.99 at Walmart for a 30-pack of Busch Light.
So yeah, it is a good bit cheaper. Not like, well, I mean...
Would you
like
say like
$2
25 cents a can or some bullshit?
This would be about 50 cents a can. With the $16.
That's like cheaper than bottled water though.
It is. It just smells like regular beer, but just wait till you get the actual disgusting
Hammy
gross.
taste?
Yes. I can't even remember what it is that it really tastes like, but it's a whole lot of ick.
Well, it's got a clear beer color.
I'm becoming a beer snob.
I was gonna say, we created a craft beer snob.
Yeah, because I used to drink Busch Light when I was younger, and like I tried to drink some Busch Light recently, and it was not good.
Last time I went with my parents to like Texas Roadhouse, they were all like, "Oh, you like beer? You gonna get a beer with your drink?" Like looking at me and looked at the menus like Bud Light, Coors, and like
I don't.
I'm just like, I'll get a Coke. They're like, what? Yeah, I'll get a Coke. I'm good.
I can't even. I'm just. If they don't have a craft beer or something good, I'll get one.
Well, let's see. It smells like a beer, but not by much.
Yeah, it just tastes fucking ashtray like.
Tastes like water with bubbles.
It's
Yeah. I mean, I suppose if I
With
drank,
a bit of a piss flavor to it.
I suppose if I drank all 30 of these, I'd get fucked up.
You'd probably get fucked up on less, but it's so.
There was a place in
An aftertaste. I can taste the can.
There was a place I used to work at in Eaton that did like prefab homes, like right after I graduated high school. And there'd be guys that go out on they had an hour lunch break. They'd go out on an hour lunch break and they'd kill a 24 or 30 pack. This is the kind of thing those guys would do, and then they'd go smoke weed and run nail guns. There's a guy that worked there that shot himself in the foot in the 4 weeks I was there, like 3 times.
Nice.
Kept pulling out, he's like, don't tell nobody, I'm good. And they're like, we don't care if you want to keep working. And I just remember like the one time I was working with him and he shot a nail right into his foot. He's like, fuck, hand me that hammer. And he like pried it all out of the ground, just kept on going like, tetanus anyone?
Hey, it's all right.
So how are we doing this week, ladies?
Doing good.
Just grand.
So I know y'all have done some things in the last week. What have you done this last week, Missy?
Good God. I thought I had something I was going to say regarding Jacob and his sign that he wanted to make for his girlfriend to ask her to the dance to homecoming. And, I already sent a picture to them. I could probably put it in the video. But it says, be a smarty and go to homecoming with this dum-dum. And I thought there was something really funny about doing
Farmer
that.
Tim's showing up all nice.
I don't remember. There was something, other than the fact that he was asking for the shit yesterday while I was dropping him off at school. He's like, I need it for tomorrow. I was like, well, I fucking work today and I get off work at midnight and I'm going to be recording the butt plug tomorrow. I was like, well, I don't know when you think we're going to be doing it. He's like, well, I need it for when she has her soccer game. I'm like, you gotta be fucking shitting me. Like, are you serious? I was like, I can't get the stuff. So he had to have his dad get it, and then he wanted me to help him make it after I got off work. I was like, you're not staying up that late. I was like, I'm not, I wouldn't get home till like 1 o'clock.
Yep, that's a beer.
And so we did it this morning. I can't remember. I thought there was something that was actually funny.
I know Ariana did things. She actually did more things than most of us did.
I went to an Alanis Morissette concert.
There you go.
And Garbage played with her, and I was like really excited to see Garbage because I was a huge fan of them when I was like 15 or so, and they were pretty good, but Alanis was like amazing. She was really good live, and I would totally go see her again. So yeah, that's about. A lot more things happen.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to hear about that too.
Yay.
Yes. Because my things to talk about are just depressing. So talk about amazing things.
Oh, mine's not amazing. It's kind of depressing too.
Oh, Jesus.
So
We had a depressing
maybe
week here at the butt plugs.
it's not too depressing, but I was like cleaning my car out on Wednesday, and I went to start it up to put it in the garage, and the fucking battery died on me.
Oh.
And I'm like, son of a bitch, and like I was sitting there like trying to figure out what to do. I have another car, but that battery's dead too, and it's been dead for like a couple of months, and I just like have been putting it off. And so I was like sitting there trying to figure out what to do, or like should I go do this tonight? Because I had to go get my hair done at like 10 in the morning too.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, if I don't do this tonight, I'm probably not gonna be able to make it to that, in time. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna mow the yard because I was, it's starting to get pissed and I can't make good decisions when I'm mad. So I was like, I'm just gonna like mow the yard and like chill the fuck out for a minute, and then I'll like, it'll come to me. But I ended up calling my mom, and she's like, well, I can come pick you up at like 8:30 in the morning, and my hair appointment was at 10. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think there's any fucking way that this. I was like thinking I was going to pull the battery out, put the new battery in real quick. So I was outside pulling the battery out of it at like 7:30 in the morning. And I was like, maybe I can just throw it back in there and just go, And then I was like, you know what, I'm not going to rush around. I'm just going to see if she'll push my appointment back. And she did. And luckily that happened because I didn't get done putting the battery in the car until like after 10. It was like probably like 10:30 or something.
You need one of those things like a tender that you can just hook up, plug in, and then just let it sit and
I
charge
have one
it?
of those, but it doesn't work.
Well, if it's like when the battery on my
Two
Civic
cars.
went bad last time, it's not like the old cars where, it would slowly go bad. No, it's just a snap finger, done. Because all the electronics in, you're just done right then and there.
So yeah, like I went to my hair appointment, and the place I got the battery from happened to be right across the street, so I could take the old batteries back in there and get my discount or whatever. And like the whole day, for as much of an inconvenience that it was, it actually went super fucking smooth.
That's a good thing when your inconvenience like actually goes really smooth. I actually thought of something funny, and I don't think I told you guys, but it's actually really disgusting too. Should I tell it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You dumbass, I would be disappointed in you if you didn't.
So I had this, me and my partner last week had this patient. And that's cool, whatever. Like, we picked him up from a hospital. We're taking him back to a nursing home, and he was in there because his original thing. He was in there because he had a Foley cath, but he was having issues with it. So that's all just like it's a tube in your urethra if you're a male or a female, and then it just goes to a bag, and that's how your body relieves the urine because you can't pee on your own. So this guy, whatever reason, that setup was not working for him. So maybe like a week prior, he had it where they call it a suprapubic cath, and that's where they cut into your stomach, actually, like
Damn.
above, into your bladder, and they just insert the tube, and then they kind of stitch it, just make sure it stays in there. And then that's how, and I've seen those before. So the pee drains out that, and when that's freshly inserted, literally that bag fills up a lot, and a lot of it's really blood colored. It looks like fucking purplish red wine. Like if you had it in a container or a bottle, you'd be like, that looks fucking delicious, but it looks really gross because it's in that bag. But
So I should make some red wine, but get calf bags.
that would be a good Halloween thing, and it literally looks just like that. I think it, because when it splashes around in the bag, it hits it, and then you can see through it, but it just still kind of just drizzles down, so it's it might be a little bit thicker because of the blood. But so anyway, we had him, and so he had dementia, and he was really worried. He's like, well, I'm not wearing any pants. He's like, I can't leave without pants. And we're like, no, I don't think you had to know. I know I wore pants. We're like, okay, well, we could look for your pants. Couldn't find them. If they find them, they'll send them back. And he just didn't even leave with pants. So I was real careful to we'll leave you covered, because he was worried about the girls at the nursing home. He's like, I would never do that because there's women there and blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, whatever. So we slid him over onto our cot, and I really didn't pay a big deal to what's going on. I've already seen that shit before. Get him back to the nursing home. We said something to them, and I'm like, they wanted to transfer him to the chair. I was like, well, how do you guys normally transfer him over? Oh, well, he gets up and walks. I was like, oh, fuck, I didn't know he got up and walked. So we're going to let him get up and walk, and I pulled the blanket off of him, and he had blood all over here from where he was having complications, and I was like, all right, whatever. And so the nurse she gets a wet, warm cloth and starts wiping him off, and me and my partner just looking and looking at each other. So, same partner I had that particular day when we had the lady dick.
Wiping his old bloody man dick off?
Yes, so the nurse was doing that, and me and the guy, we were just looking at each other, looking down at the dude's old penis, and then looking back up, just smirking, trying to keep from laughing. We weren't laughing at his issue, but it was just the sickest shit that I've never seen before. I've seen in the private ambulance versus being in 911. But so this guy, whatever issue he was having, because we had the blood and stuff, he had the hugest blood clot coming out the end of his fucking dick, and we were just and it kept oozing out, and I was like, it's getting bigger. Oh my fucking God. It was just I don't know how to describe it, but it was just very fucking solid. And then
Did you just want to grab it and pull it out?
when it finished falling out, when she was cleaning off the rest of him, it looked like it had a fucking tail. I was like, dude, no way. And then she cleaned him up and then scooped it up and helped him over, and we left, and my partner was like, that thing was fucking huge. I was like, oh my God. And then I forget exactly what we were mentioning, and then my partner was like, well, that was just the weirdest hand job I ever saw because of the way she was cleaning them off. But it was That was like the highlight of my week last week. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. The highlight of my week is seeing this big old fucking, like my partner was like, that thing had to be at least 2 ounces. I was like, it would fill a shot glass. Like,
When I hear stories like
I love using that description because everybody almost barfs every fucking
when I hear
time.
stories like that, I think, oh man, those hot nurses. Just think about that. She's gonna be touching my dick. Oh man,
They're not
gonna be
hot
great.
nurses.
No, that's the idea of a nurse though. Oh man, that nurse is gonna be touching my dick. It's gonna be so hot. In the meantime, you're sitting here thinking about that, and all she's doing is just like something near your junk. And she just literally got done cleaning like some old guy's dick off and getting a shot glass worth of fucking blood clot out of the tip of his dick. And you're sitting here thinking all these sexy thoughts. She's just like, man, damn it, not today. I was not in the mood for that today.
That's so funny.
This is a fucking shitty Tuesday. I was not in the mood. I was running late. This is the first thing I have to do when I walk in. God damn it, this is going to be a fucking terrible day. And then there's this kid making these googly eyes at me, trying to hide the boner that he's getting in my face. What the fuck kind of life is this?
Well, that was all in a nursing home, so those ladies are not even going to expect any. Well, I mean, they'll probably expect a lot of old guy boners, but that's really just about it. They're not expecting a wide variety of people.
Well, I'm sure that nurses in regular hospitals or something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they probably get a variety too, but I feel like it's like that's a thing where it's just like, oh, I'm just going to ignore this, like it's not even happening, like la 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 la.
Blah, 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 blah. This isn't a penis.
Right, pretty much.
Get home, to her husband or boyfriend, and he's like, hey baby, you want a hand job? And she's just, want to give me a hand job? And she's just like, all right, fine. And he's like, man, where'd you learn to give such great hand jobs? Funny story about work today.
Okay, that's kind of where you're going with that. Because I was like, I think that would be the farthest. But my partner was saying how the nurse gave the most awkward hand job, and then I didn't think of it. But I was like, man, I should have asked him how many hand jobs he has seen. Like,
I think this might taste better than Busch Light.
ew, fucking gross. It's
That or I just was completely not in the mood the other day to be drinking that. I don't know.
That's
because,
all right.
well, you've had not a whole lot of that better beer.
She's drinking the 12.5% whatever dog IPA we had a couple weeks back.
Well, maybe it's that we're just doing the white trash thing, and it's like, oh, it tastes so right.
Yeah, the clothes have seeped into my skin.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like if we try to go with really snobby beers, it's like it's not going to taste very good at all.
Well, it's like last night I was sitting there sipping on one of those because I had that 4-pack of the Kings Island beers. I was drinking on that last night and going, man, this fucker's way heavier than I'm in the mood for.
It's funny. Sometimes you have that, and it's like, ugh, should have got a lighter beer.
It was like, I think all the lactose was hitting me last night. It's just like, steak feeling that,
Right.
All right, so shall we go for our next high quality beer?
The next off should be the Honey Brown. I really
It
like
is.
that. And those are literally, they're 99 cents for a 24 ounce, and it's like, it's really pretty fucking good sometimes for that.
Honey
I like
Brown,
'em.
product of USA, crisp, smooth lager, beer with honey, hint of sweetness. Guinea Seed Brewing Company out of wherever the fuck they're, Rochester, New York. And the good high quality beer it is, I don't see an ABV rating on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there wasn't any on the hams either.
And the Hames is probably on the box.
I
Let's
didn't
do our...
thoroughly inspect the box. I did not thoroughly inspect the box, but I also did not see it on the box. I was looking at it as I was driving.
Honey
I'm like,
Brown.
I don't want to die, so that's what we got here. Okay, that's what we got going on.
All right, so this looks exactly like the last stuff.
No way.
That fine piss color.
That American lager color that only comes from a giant machine-made factory where everything is exactly the same. Born out of the
Machine-made factory.
1950s where America wanted everything to be the same.
Probably.
30 years after Prohibition killed off all the good beers that America used to make.
You are shaky as hell.
Dude, there's a lot of fucking shit in here. There's still more to go.
I know. But Ron's always been really shaky. I think I've noticed that.
You got the Parkinson's?
I mean, Grandma had
This
it.
is good.
Grandma had it, so there is a possibility someday. Smells okay.
This ain't bad.
I really like it for a cheap beer. Sometimes it's just like, I'm just craving a cheap beer.
has almost like a brown sugary type taste. to
It's
it.
got a bit of a sweetness to it.
There's a little different tongue texture, but remember some of those, remember when I brought those Japanese beers?
Yes.
Almost sweetness-wise, kind of like that. Different tongue feel, but same taste.
I was right. It's pretty good there.
Well, is that made by the same company? Wasn't like one of those Japanese beers like from Bush or something?
Oh.
Yeah.
That was. It's really funny. This is 4.5 alcohol.
Okay. It's like Guinnessy, so that's a different company. Guinnessy,
Hint
whatever.
of sweetness. Crisp, smooth lager. Beer with honey. I was like looking at this can today. They changed up their can, and I swear I feel like it tasted better in the old can. And I was looking at this, I'm like, is this actually beer, or am I being tricked, and is this,
Malt liquor.
yes. And I'm like, I hope it's not one of those shitty malt liquors. It's like, I would be fooled. I was like, I've been drinking this.
Yeah, but you're still getting drunk. If that's what your mood's for.
I'm not a fan of those malt liquors that are beer malt. I almost did get a Colt 45. I think those are malt liquors, aren't they? A beer
Yeah.
malt liquor.
So for the record, looking at the camera, just like how the cat's just sitting here staring at everything, just like we've been doing it. He's like, I'm waiting for my beer. Where's mine? You
That's
know?
fun. Here, kitty, you want a drink?
I'm an old man. Give me what I want.
Kitty, kitty.
So my depressing shit for the week, I have had multiple job interviews in the last week, and 3 possibilities and 0
What was the
response.
third?
No, he doesn't want it.
They're Hobart and Troy,
Ah.
but I got rejection letters and or just straight up no's in that much time.
He's like, hell.
He doesn't
no.
drink beer. He's sober.
He is a sober.
Harry would drink beer for a while. I'd have he'd come up and sniffing at it when he was younger, and I pour a little in the cap, and he'd like lick it and be like, and then run off.
That's funny.
But yeah, I get to keep my crappy job. Yay!
Good job.
That's my depression. I don't know. I felt like a worthless bitch since then because, come on, man. I should have got 1 out of 3 something.
Shit happens.
You'll get something someday.
That's right.
Get another something because I have a something.
Well, you'll get something better someday.
So let's see. Outside of that, I've got my old shitty motorcycle that I traded wine for about 100% restored.
And that's funny. That's a good ass trade.
Yeah.
Bottle of homemade wine.
It was like 3 bottles, 4 bottles of homemade wine, but still.
Yeah, still, that's not bad. Really mesmerized by my shitty outfit.
I'm still trying to figure out what your leggings are supposed to be.
Me too.
Just random
I
shit
wonder
on
if
there.
there's like a flag.
Are they just states?
Couldn't tell.
They look like states.
I thought they did too at first, but I'm like, because I
So-
kind of thought maybe one looked like, I don't know, West Virginia or something.
So I think what you need to do is after this is done recording, you get to the house, lay down on the floor, lay down on something, take a picture, and then have everybody tell us what they think.
Maybe, because I thought one looked like West Virginia, and then I'm like, oh wait, but that looks like Africa. I was like, what is that West Virginia one? And I was like, ooh, is that Italy? And I'm like, why am I having the states, continents, and countries?
Well, since this here's redneck night, that shows you're an international classy lady.
Right, and I'm kind of like, well, it's got blue on it and stars, and like you would think that would, but I'm kind of wondering if there's a flag.
I guess it would be red if it was like, USA.
That's what I was kind of like, maybe this is we'll find out what flag has blue and blue stars. Like, what flag is white?
Seems like I should know this, but I don't.
Dude, did we do flags? I know we did that, like that stupid, the map drills.
I can't.
I never once got one of
Shit.
those right, and I was always like, I'd be like, man, I hope I get up against one of those smart kids, so it just goes real quick, and then I'd get up against somebody really dumb, and we'd both be standing
I
up.
do remember that
Fuck.
vaguely, but there's no way I can remember maybe like what a couple of different flags look like. That's probably about it.
I was gonna say, I can't remember if like that would be some of the things, like what country has this flag, or if it was all just like countries and capitals, or where a country is.
I remember on the show The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon had the Fun with Flags show that he did or whatever.
I didn't know that. I've seen a few episodes of that, not a whole lot. Oh, but guess I can say this is funny. So I showed Logan what my outfit was going to be, and I was telling him what I was going to do. He's like, that is going to look stupid. I was like, that's the point. And then when I had it all on and I was, ready to go, I went up to his room and I was like, hey dude, and he was like, oh hey, ew, you look disgusting, get out of here. It was so funny. I was like, I knew he was going to do that too.
So the worst
Honduras. It makes sense. The flag of Honduras is a big blue bar and a big blue bar at the bottom, and then a white bar in the center with 5 stars that are blue. So
There's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ew, are these Honduras? Yes, they are!
She has wearing Honduras pants.
For white trash, when it's like American Honduras white trash.
Well, you see,
Yeah.
you just saw stars and stripes. We ain't going for it,
I did. I saw some blue and white tie-dye ones. I was like, ooh, I'm going to get those. And I saw those. I was like, ooh. I was like, what the fuck is the red? And I was like, I don't know.
The worst part for me is that I've had this flannel for years. I cut the sleeves off, and the hat here, this is a hat that I've had for a lot of times, and a lot of miles, so it all looks worn out. And I feel like I look right in this outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks very like, hey.
He looks very Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
Get her done.
You said that, and I keep staring at him. The more, he just still continues to look like Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
I dress like this when I mow my yard, so.
But this is my hillbilly lawn mowing. I honestly, I was like, what is a female hillbilly dress like? I was like I just don't fucking know. I'm like thinking I could
Open your eyes and look around you.
I was at home.
Darling, you need to go to Walmart, okay? First of the month, and just look around.
I
You wear some bed pants.
I was out in public and I was at the Goodwill, which that's a wide variety, and it was the one in Inglewood. I'm like, oh, this isn't good.
Peoplewalmart.com.
Yeah, I just Googled. I was like, and then I saw a lot of people were like, girls were even doing stuff like that, and they had a lot of them had baby
Do they
dolls.
have chest hair
I
hanging out
think
like that?
no, they had baby dolls with them, but I think they had like beer bottles, and I was like, that'd be really funny if I had a baby and it had a cigarette in its hand. And then I remembered what I wanted
a
to
stroller with a beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
You should come with a baby and like just a baby doll, like take the head off and then you pull out a beer bottle.
His arm hair keeps tickling me.
Foreplay.
It's like giving me like goosebumps and shit.
Hi.
But it's like
Yeah, I'm a hairy bastard, but you didn't know this.
I knew this. So anyway, with the I knew what I wanted to
Gun
do,
show.
what I was thinking of,
It's not a good gun show.
and I wasn't consciously looking for the shirt, but I don't think any of them were there. But if I was going to be consciously looking for them, I would have gone to the Greenville Goodwill. But did you ever like on Facebook the chick is Trailer Trash Tammy?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I need a Reba shirt. I was like, I wanted to get a Reba shirt, and I thought, when we first thought of this, I was like, maybe I should just get a Trailer Trash Tammy shirt, like one that's got her. I think our shirts have her and Reba on them, like some of them. Like I could do that.
So for me, ever since I dated that dumb bitch Tina, whenever I think of like a Trailer Trash shirt, just because how she was, I just think like an Under Armour like wife beater. Because that's what my brain jumps to, specifically Under Armour brand. I know they're not Trailer Trash themselves.
That's funny.
But that's what my brain jumps to.
Hell yeah. It's really hard to drink like all of this beer like this. We're only on our second.
I know, I'm like just sitting here chilling.
It's
like
So I like forced the honey brown down because it's like
Right.
it's another lager and
I
it
wasn't
tastes
feeling it.
it tastes pretty damn similar to me to the hams. I'm not tasting a whole lot of difference.
It doesn't. The hams tasted like a lot better today than it normally did. Cause unless they were like old ass skunky beers that Larry's dad bought, because they literally tasted like they fucking hot dog water and other shit.
See, I didn't think it was terrible. Like
This time around, I didn't, and every time I had it before, I fucking hated this shit.
it's the clothes, they're seeping in.
It is. The clothes are seeping in.
Is it because it was warm before? Because I can imagine it tasting like ass warm.
Dude, you're about to
I don't. It wasn't. Like he always keeps his stuff in the fridge.
If we wanted to get real Trailer Trash on this, we'd have all got natty lights. We'd have stabbed our keys through and went Shotgun sucked him out,
I did that one time. Just one time.
and then puked all over him on the floor.
No, it was, I forget what it was. I think it was just like a bush or something like that. But my employers used to just freely keep beers in the fridge. And because they were, when they first became like a business, they were celebrating, like, yeah, you guys did this many runs, we had this many, you know, whatever. Because it was like a big deal because not everybody knew about them. So they would like, here, you want a beer while we're waiting on another run to come in? And they would just like give a beer out or whatever. And we, I think I worked the day before Thanksgiving, and I worked with like one of my really good friends who worked there at the time. When we got back, she's like, opened the fridge and there was 2 beers in there. She's like, you want to? I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, they were offered to us, but I was like, who's gonna fucking know? No one's gonna know. And so we just, I think, yeah, we took a knife, we like made the thing, we just and sucked them down, and it was the first time I've ever done that. It wasn't unfun, but I just don't see that for party pleasure. Like, let's do them over and over and over again.
That's a teenage level getting drunk, not like an old fucker like us getting drunk. That's where you're not drinking for flavor, you're trying to get as much alcohol in you as you can, as fast as you can, to get fucked up because you don't care. You'll puke, and then, oh man, I feel better than drink again. Not like now where you puke and then you're gonna feel like you're dying for the next like 3 days, 4 days. At least me anyway.
Yeah. Well, there was one, I remember this. You were there. I don't know if you remember it. It was at LJ's. And your brother, it was just, we were all there after school, and I think it was on a Friday because this dude was there, and he was like, yeah, it's partying, man, end of the week. And he kept getting doubles. Like, I don't remember, I mean.
Are we gonna go for our mystery secret? She's not even finished.
Well, I am, but this is what this dude was doing. Because he kept having tall beers, and I really don't remember them having them there at LJ's, but apparently they did. But he would literally just, like, he would bite into it, just go, and he would open it, and it like, literally in, like, a second, 2 seconds, it was, like, sucked down, and he just, and it was gone. And he did multiple of those.
So I can do that with bottles of water?
Bite into it?
Well, suck it down like that fast.
I could do that with a bottle, not even, I mean, it was super fast. Like, it just, as soon as it was open and he bit into it at the same time, the beer was gone.
It's like, when you're doing it like that, you're basically just, I could tell you when you're doing it that fast, you're basically just like relaxing the back of your throat, and then just, you're not even drinking at that point, you're just pouring it down your throat.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, dude, he sounds like a pro, relaxing the back of your throat. Where did you get the experience for all of that?
Yeah.
Sucking your dick,
Sounds like-
sweetie. Aww.
Just relaxing, just do what I do, just go, oh.
Isn't that how they, like, on that movie, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, isn't that how she, like, taught her to give a blowjob? You just relax the back of your throat.
Ron's dedicated, he wants them to get the balls in.
You know, gotta work the whole shaft, baby.
It's good stuff, I like it. Oh yeah.
So, he likes to talk.
He does.
He's a good old man.
Ooh, he didn't like that. Oh, no, he gets
You're gonna
mad.
anger the kitty.
I'm about to fall. It's like,
Ariana,
yes, sir.
you need to like chug that shit so we can have our
I'm trying.
It's just not good. Like, how do I drink this when it doesn't taste good?
See, the important part
Just not
about
an alcoholic like you two.
That's right.
hey, alcoholics go to meetings, bitch.
There you go. True. We go to a meeting every week. It's called the Strobing Butt Plug.
StrobingButtPlug.com.
That's right. Absolutely.
Man. So, like, the biggest problem, like I said, with like just the base American stuff, Bud Light, Coors, Hamm's, Honey Brown, that Natty Light, the PBR, they're all just basic American lagers. They're not that. There's not a lot of variance in them. I looked into making one, and I was just like, when I was looking up lager recipes, outside of adding flavors to them, they're all very much within a little bit of the grain bill. They're very much the same damn thing.
They are. Very much so. They all claim to have the finest hops.
Yes.
Well, they do.
Yes.
They'll have the finest hops. It's just like, one type of hops that's, very standard.
Pure distilled water.
Well, yeah, you have to
The
have
finest of water.
the clearest of water from was that one, Big Blue Oceans or some bullshit?
That was just like something about the sky.
Oh,
like
clear blue
looks
sky,
like
water, ocean, I don't know. But
yeah, pretty much.
like Prohibition really fucked America for a long time on terms of beer flavors because, like, seriously, prior to Prohibition there was a whole bunch of different American beer styles, very specific ones, and then Prohibition came along and just more or less, you know, they illegalized all alcohol, and so all the big breweries shut down. The ones that survived pretty much existed like shipping internationally exclusively.
They probably had, well, I was going to say they either had to be the best of ones or the cheapest.
And what happened after that, of course, was because of Prohibition, then you had like World War I and all the wars, and that's when America got really good at, like, you know, mass manufacturing, mass factory shit. And in the 50s, you know, the cool thing was, well, hey, you know, I can go to a McDonald's here in Ohio, and if I go out to California and I order a Big Mac with fries and a Coke, I'll get the exact same Big Mac and fries and the Coke. And America, you know, that's what we decided we liked, you know. That's why you got all the really big beer brands that are everywhere, you know, the Bud, the Coors, etc. Because, you know, they saw that when they started, you know, first coming out, they grew as fast as they could to get full nationwide control.
That's fair.
It's the same way with like your Cokes and Pepsis and Mountain Dews and all that other shit, you know.
Oh, he's got such a mean looking face. What are you doing, big boy?
He's done a mean face. It's just an old man face.
Yeah,
Maybe. Curmudgeon-y.
It's
I like it.
You damn kids, it's your
Curmudgeon.
You damn kids, it's your damn bear.
So,
So,
you ever like wear a really like revealing shirt and you just keep watching yourself stare down and you're like, damn, I look good. I bet you do that all the time,
I know,
huh?
I've checked her cleavage out a few times.
I keep checking myself like, God, I like this. Like, it looks fucking good. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna do the sleeves to some of my other shirts, but I'm gonna do this shit. Oh yeah.
I'm just sitting here thinking, yes, Missy, I hear every word you two are saying. I mean, you're saying.
That's funny.
So, two of my favorite things in this world are boobs.
It's funny.
I mean, you know.
Your own hairy boobs. I want to get some kind of a push-up bra for you to where you wear it and it actually like makes you fill out to where you look like you have hairy woman boobs. I want to see if we can make that work. And I want him to wear a shirt like that out in public and the bra does not show. So I want everybody to see like the actual boobs. Like,
I will keep the shirt.
Hairy cleavage.
I will keep that. I'll keep the shirt and you find that and I'll wear it.
I will.
Hairy cleavage.
It does. It's
Hi, my name's
that'd be like a really weird porn, like a very
Like a specific genre of porn.
Yeah.
See, I hear hairy cleavage and my brain
Fetish
jumps
porn.
to Calvin Coolidge, which was like a president. I don't even know what the fuck that dude looked like, but I'm now just picturing like, you know, fake presidential porn or something.
that's like hairy cleavage.
Let's find
How
out.
about Calvin Coolidge?
I don't remember what Calvin Coolidge looked like either, but we're getting ready to
I just remember the name.
because I want to see what he would,
Right.
what that porn would be like.
I'm
Probably not.
gonna picture Ron and this dude getting it on.
Calvin Coolidge meet hairy
He's not
cleavage.
terrible looking.
No, he's not horrible.
Was he?
Oops, wait a minute, that picture went away. I wanted.
What did hairy cleavage?
Who does he remind me of? He reminds
I was
me
gonna
of
say
someone.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Looks like
weird. He does, and I don't know. Like on one hand, kind of like looks like my dad a little bit, maybe.
Kind of reminds me
Like
a little bit
his
like
when
a
he
young
was-
Rob,
Maybe.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking like
His pictures when he was.
a slightly young Robin Williams to me.
There you go. I was gonna say there's some actor and I couldn't remember. I was thinking maybe a teacher at my school, but definitely not a teacher.
Yeah.
Definitely Robin Williams, which my dad also reminds me of Robin Williams. So
Really?
a little bit like his look. They got like the same nose and maybe face shape.
I guess I never really noticed, but now that you say that, I can see it.
And depending on what hair Robin, because he always has like, it looks like a comb over, you know, it's got the side part and shit. And yeah,
Never
So
really
me-
thought about it.
there you go. So Calvin Coolidge porn is almost like being like, I'm just gonna watch my dad porn, which no.
That's
Quick
pretty.
way to get some
That's
daddy
pretty.
issues.
You know, that's pretty appropriate for Trailer Trash Week.
It
It
is.
is,
That it
I got
is.
daddy issues. My daddy didn't love me. Now I'm gonna go sleep with every man that looks kind of like him. Come here, Mr. Coolidge.
Oh God, he's been dead for a long time. Oh,
Yeah, when was
man.
he president? Like in the 20s or some shit?
Well, it said the 1923 to 1929. Good for
Good.
you.
Damn.
Even though we just Googled him, so it might be, part
So,
of it.
I think it's time.
Good for you. I wouldn't have known that. I would have been like, oh, probably in the 50s.
I think it's time for our mysterious berries.
I do.
I'm going to let you prepare our mysterious berries.
It is.
Our mysterious berries is a combination of the things on this table.
We talked about this on the podcast.
We did,
Yes.
actually.
So for those that are unable to see us because of the audio, we have on the table a PBR, a Pabst Blue Ribbon, and a Smirnoff Ice.
For a pap smear. And I heard this, and I had somebody tell me about it, and she's like, they were really yummy. But I was really drunk, so I don't know. And then I tried it sober, and it was actually pretty fucking good. So.
It's like one of my birthdays eons ago that we went. You and Rob took me out. I just remember going to Buffalo Wings in BW3s in Huber Heights, and I was drinking Yeg Bombs, and I was like, these are fucking great. And then later on, I'm like,
doing that.
I tried to drink a Yeg Bomb later on. I'm like, these are disgusting.
They are fucking gross. They taste like.
them. I used to.
They taste. I did too. I had them at your place. They tasted like Robitussin.
Yeah, they kind of do. But
Oh,
I
shit,
don't
no.
really taste cough syrup, so.
Right. It's not horrible. It was something I had else the other day that was a Robitussin reminiscent, and I can't remember what it
I
was.
feel like this is going to be refreshing.
It is. It's an odd, refreshingly. Maybe not. I mean, they're not super cold anymore, but they're like oddly good, which is a weird thing.
And it's like really watered down looking.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I got a little bit more beer in mind, but they are.
So we're
fairly-
gonna have the sweetness of the Smirnoff and the PBRness of the PBR. Some lager beer of that.
For some reason, they seem to have a minty taste to me.
Well, as the rednecks would do, ain't gonna sniff
That's not
it.
minty.
Ain't gonna sniff it. You go have it.
Before,
And you good.
it's really good. I'm liking it. Again, it's much better when it's cold.
Smells citrusy.
Ain't too bad. Pretty good, actually.
See, mine is like really. I think it's just because they got warm that it's like not very carbonated, but they're usually a little bit more carbonated. Or maybe it's because I have more beer in mine.
I kind of dig it. It's like, yeah, it's
So I like it. It's got the Smirnoff taste. The problems I always have with the Smirnoffs, they're too sweet, and the carbonation in them usually gives me
They're
that
hella
tight-
carbonated.
that tightness in the chest feel if you drink them too fast.
The heartburn.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I drank those. I used to drink those like in my early 20s.
Oh God, yes, they were. Larry drank them,
Yeah, I think that's why I used to drink them.
and they were hideous. And then they came out with the blacks that were so less carbonated.
Sorry, they
I would
always.
drink like 3 or 4 of those and just throw up because of the carbonation.
Sorry, in the same era, I was always drinking the Lynchburg lemonades because the
Yes,
last
those are
name.
so fucking.
Downhill punch.
Yeah, my name's Lynch. This is Lynch. These are mine. They're cool.
You know.
Right.
And I was partial to the downhill punch.
I
Yeah.
don't
Do
think
they
I
still
ever
make
had
those
the
things anymore?
I've
I
seen
think
them.
so, yeah.
They
I tried them recently.
do.
Not that good.
It's like Mike's Hard Lemonade. When they first came out, I was like, those are fucking great. Now I'm just like,
They're hideous.
yep.
I'll drink like the harder lemonades if somebody has a can sitting around with big 24 ounce at 8.
So do you think they're hideous because we drink too much and the alcohol content doesn't do enough to cover the flavor, or we just got old in the flavor, our profile changed?
Oh, definitely profile.
Because
changed.
it's like every 10 years, 7 years, you get older, your tastes change or some shit.
I'm a snob about a lot of stuff. Like I don't like fast food shit. Like when I was out shopping today, I was like, man, I'm just kind of craving a burger. I was like, I was gonna get something from McDonald's, and then like I just did not want to make my way to the other McDonald's all the way around the end of Inglewood, and I was like, oh, I'll just get something at Burger King. And I was like, Whoppers are always good. And then they had this garlic bacon something or other. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna try that. I saw that and I've been wanting to try it. And I'm like, I think I'm going to really regret this because for some reason, if Burger King has a burger out that's new and it does not have ketchup on it, they're like fucking hideous. And it was hideous. I was like, this is just
Man, just about everything from Burger King is hideous anymore anyway.
I like the Whoppers.
That's about it. think I've mentioned this before, but I can't even go to the Burger King in my own town, the one in Piqua.
Oh yeah.
That's like, a mile and a half, 2 miles from my house, because they fuck up the order so much. And there's been so many times I've been there, they're supposed to close at like, 10. They won't turn their damn lights on. You get up there at like 9 and they won't even answer the drive-thru. They'll be pretending they're not there.
What the hell is Burger King in Piglet? I'm sitting here trying to remember where it's at now.
That's like
Kroger's
a
parking lot.
36.
Where at?
Kroger's parking lot in 36.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's like the front end of town.
Like, I've gotten to the point now where I'll drive, 10, 15 minutes out of the way to go down to Troy and get it from there, because usually at least they get the order right.
The one in Greenville sucks too.
A lot of the places in Greenville suck. Like when I worked there, which was some years ago, so I mean they're gonna have all different staff and it's like all different. They always fucked shit up everywhere I went, like all the time.
I don't have that issue normally. I've not had an issue with Burger King either, but I don't really eat there. But like whenever I go buy it, there's like nobody there.
That's funny.
Well, the kid likes Burger King more than McDonald's. The other thing I'll say about McDonald's anymore is at least pretty consistently, with the exception of the one in Eaton, they are accurate. There's a couple of them I've gone to. The one up near where I work, they are fucking fast. I've seen like double stacked drive-through lines and you get through it in like 3 minutes. I'm like, how the hell? How? It's McDonald's, but it's still fast and decent.
See, I was gonna go to McDonald's, but I refused to go to the one at the west end of Inglewood. I'm like, fuck that. They always fuck shit up, and they always don't have stuff too. We're out of that, or they just make shit real sloppy. So I was gonna go to the one at the far end. And I'm like, I do not want to drive all the way down there. And then I just went to fucking Burger King.
I usually go to Wendy's and I get a burger.
The fries were good. I can't, like, I'll do the fries. That's what I end up actually liking. Everything else sucks. I'm like, all of this is gross as fuck.
Fast food, man.
It
I'm
is.
an Arby's fan, really. I don't really go to
I was gonna say,
burger
yeah. Things that are
Arby's is good, but they're so
less
damn expensive.
places. That's true.
The only part about Arby's that's disappointed me lately, they discontinued potato cakes.
Oh, I like those. Those
I've
were
never
good.
had them.
They discontinued potato cakes. When I was like a little kid, my mom used to work at the Arby's over in Richmond. And I'd go there and she'd be like, oh, here, have some potato cakes. And it's like, potato cakes, you put the Arby's sauce on that shit.
They're really good.
And yeah, they discontinued. They're like, oh, we have crinkle cut fries. I'm like, fuck your crinkle cut fries.
This is funny, Sonny, because he fucked it up totally.
Yeah, fuck your crinkle cut fries. Is that better, dude?
Yes.
Crinkle cut fries are actually pretty good.
No.
I like them.
Not when you're wanting potato cakes.
No, they are not good when you're wanting potato cakes.
Curly fries are where it's at.
Ooh, I don't care for the curly fries because it's like anytime I was gonna say they're allowed to sit out for like a half hour versus the other fries. So it's like anytime I get them, they're always like fucking old. And so it's like, I don't care for them, but you can get bags of them at Walmart, and then you make them, and they're always fresh. I don't really care for them either way. I just get them because Logan loves them.
I don't know, I like them from Arby's. But, you know what's good at Arby's?
The Arby's brand.
Fucking mozzarella sticks. They have the best mozzarella sticks ever.
I don't think I've ever had their mozzarella sticks, but I do like their jalapeno poppers with their, like the Bronco berry sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
decent.
Yeah, good as fuck.
Look at us being fat fucks. Yay
Yes.
for fat fucks. Cheers.
It's true.
Yeah.
We did eat like a shit ton of sausage
Ooh.
gravy.
We did have, right.
I feel like when I came here, this shirt wasn't tight, and after eating that, it felt tight.
That's funny. And so my favorite part of all of that was when Ariana was saying, like, I was looking on the internet to get some meal like ideas for my to see like I could make some white trash meals. And I looked at it and I'm like, fuck, I ate this shit growing up as a kid. I am white trash.
Yeah, it's true.
That's
My roots are white trash.
it's like
And
I don't
still-
even know what white trash meals are. Like what would white trash people eat? They ate anything. I ate.
Excuse me, but what do the poor people eat these days?
That's
I ate that as a child.
I should have known.
I ate that as a child. That sounds quite delicious. I shall have some of that. What do they call it? Shit on a shingle?
Peasant food.
Peasant food.
That's
Yes. Take your peasant beers and your peasant food and feed me.
We're drinking peasant beers.
I'm holding my pinky out because it's gay and fancy.
Gay and fancy?
Yes.
And I think somebody once said it means I have an STD. I don't
Yes, that was Ariana that said that. That's like, you know, when you're
Yeah,
someplace.
something.
Yeah, they like, you know, put your finger up and they're like, oh, I can bang them because we got the same thing.
Back in the olden days, like the 1800s or 1700s or something.
That's right.
What if thou haveth thine herpes? Thou haveth thy herpes? Why, so doth I. Let us bangeth, and not spreadeth herpes to anyone
So
else.
funny.
It used to be so easy to pick a partner.
That's right. Just pinkies up or pinky or no pinky. That's how you pick your partner. I see when you're drinking, your pinky is tightly snugged under your cup as to be not up. So is mine.
I see this.
Lying.
Right. It's like
Does this mean that you don't have anything? Oh, I only have a little itch there.
a little itch.
It's nothing they've came up with a name for yet, officially.
True, probably then. That's how it was. No names. We haven't named any of this shit yet, so, you know.
Some of those, like, historical shows about, like, historical Britain and shit and all that, they talked about, like, different STDs and stuff, and there was, like, an episode, I think I may have talked about it, where they had this lady making sheepskin condoms or whatever out of sheep intestine.
I think we have had a conversation about
Yeah.
this before.
It sounds
And she was
familiar.
basically, she was sitting there talking about, yeah, it didn't do a damn thing to stop, like, pregnancy, but, like, it was only dudes that bought it to keep themselves from, like, you know, getting, like, picking up STDs and
It
shit.
would have to be like the herpes or like skin on skin shit, because if it didn't do anything against pregnancy, like the sperm is so big, but like I guess like the little.
Well, they just took, like, the sheep intestine, they, like, bleached it and lye and did a few other things, and then they, like, you know, they cut it to length, but not too short because they didn't want to make a guy feel
Right.
bad, but not too long so it would work. And they just take, like, you know, needle and thread and sew the end of it together where, you know, to cut off. And I don't think that would be particularly great for stopping, you know, jizz shooting out of it.
Right, because I was gonna say like the STD, like whatever, like the molecule or whatever, you know, the little virus is smaller than the sperm, so it's like that would get through before the sperm would. So
Yeah, but the sperm, when you shoot off, is being under pressure.
yes, true, yeah. It's gonna
Um,
shoot right through, and you won't get herpes, but you'll get fucking AIDS, dude.
Well, did they have AIDS then?
Probably not.
Oh, they probably had it, they didn't know what it was.
Maybe.
You know, some dude fucked a monkey or something.
You hear that. I don't know if that was true.
But
Hard telling. Unless you're a conspiracy theorist.
oh, if you're a conspiracy theorist, we can come up with all
The
great stuff.
government gave it to. The government created it.
Obviously.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Our own
I,
view.
I find those interesting. I like watching them. Like, ooh, that's interesting.
How far down the
Listen
rabbit
to
hole?
some of that shit today.
It's a fucking rabbit hole. I'm like, ooh, and then it gets dark and it's like, that's depressing. I'm like, I gotta stop listening to that shit.
See, I specifically avoid that shit when I'm at work because I don't want to go down those YouTube rabbit holes while I'm doing work because it's just like, I will stop working entirely.
I go down and I'm like listening to them. I'm like, a lot of the shit's very plausible to it. It's like, well, I don't really want to ignore this. Now, I don't think the magnet sticking to the shot area is plausible, but I feel like it's like, oh, there's more to this shot than, you know, oh, it's a fucking vaccine. Like, it's a vaccine, but are they really trying to do something shitty with it? Is it about control? Is it this? Is it this? It's like, okay, yes. It's like, we'll give it a good watch. We'll pay attention to this. We'll see what I did come across a really interesting video though. Like, some young kid got sick. He was like making videos of it, and he had videos of him in the hospital, and I was like, ooh, from that one fucking vaccine. I was like,
Dude, I read so I saw somebody post something that was like from a news place that said, has anybody you've known died since the has anybody that was unvaccinated died since the vaccine came out or something? And the whole comment thread was like, no, but somebody I know that got the vaccine died.
I've seen a lot of that, and I you know, people will lie just because they want it to be true, but I wonder how many of the people, like, you just gotta, like, what are you seeing? But I also know
But it was like probably
a lot.
99%
Right.
of the fucking comments was like somebody I know that got the vaccine and died.
I see a lot of that, but I also know, it's especially true with TikTok, because I try to throw off the algorithm, but they know, like, what you're into, and, like, so basically you'll see the one side, like they call it the narrative, you'll see the one side if you,
Your side of things.
right, if you start liking or just, you know, you watch more of one of the video, you'll get another one. And if you watch the whole video, you'll get another one like that, and you won't see any of them like this, because there was like, I get some of them of the other, like, you know, like the side that I don't see very much, so I'm trying to like get a whole bunch of them so I can see if I can see all of that, and I try to compare them.
What I think's funny is that very thing right there is why the entirety of like society is kind of fucked right now.
Yes.
Because everybody's either 100% one way or 100% the other. And I'm sure I've mentioned this to you guys before, if not on here, the way those algorithms work. You know, if I like, well, my fucking Facebook lately, I saw one anime meme like 3 weeks ago. I thought, huh, that's funny. I liked it and I shared it out. And now ever since then, Facebook's like, we think you might like this anime weeb meme. We think you might like this one. You might like this one. I'm just like, shut the fuck up with your damn algorithm. Show me something else.
So
Give me back to the fucking real memes that I could share out to the real things.
So when they say, oh, the government's watching you on your phone, like, no, they don't fucking do that. It's kind of like,
The government isn't watching you on your phone. The fucking Facebook, TikTok,
well,
those guys are watching you on your phone.
who's to say the government isn't? Because if Facebook has that kind of access, then the government would. But this is, I'm going to have to go back through this because...
My thoughts on that topic are the government is not watching it so much like that, not in America anyway. Facebook and all those guys are watching it for one reason only. They want to advertise to you what you want because they make money from their advertisers.
Okay, so I got a screenshot of a text thread from Larry and his buddy. So, okay, so the top of it, living the freaking dream. How about you? Miserable, I'm finally home though. Where you been? You okay? Been in the hospital. I thought everyone knew. What happened? Liver failure. I about died. Fuck, you gonna be okay now? So this is a screenshot of those texts. My next one was, wow, but at the same time, it doesn't shock me because just the dude doesn't, you know, he drinks a lot. And I was like, right, I'm sure he won't stop because he just, I mean, he's had issues before in the past and he hadn't stopped. And I said, correct. And then it's, you know, after that is, do you see Jake's Snapchat? And that, so that's a totally different text thread. So the actual text themselves says nothing about liver failure. I didn't read it out loud, and I mean, like, we didn't talk about it. It was just that simple text. That was the only thing that happened. I am getting nothing but bombarded with shit for liver failure on Facebook. So it sees the content of like a screenshot. It knows what those images are.
Oh yeah, no.
So basically, it's like, you know, if you send naked selfies, dick pics, whatever, like you fucking, it's seeing them.
Well, the algorithm's reading, for those algorithms to translate that text into a conversation, no, it's not hard. If they've got facial recognition software, they can tell who the fuck we are.
But it's basically, it's reading text that's not text, it's a picture of text.
Yeah, I know. Like in that same breath, Apple was about to roll out, until they got like a bunch of shit, a thing for any photo you had in your iCloud. They're about to start scanning it for child abuse and child pornography signatures.
There was a lot.
And then they were going to send that off to the government, like the local police. And basically the backlash of it was, well, okay, that's fine and great. We definitely need to protect children. But here in America, that's cool. But what's to stop, you know, so Apple has this technology and they let that genie out of the bottle. What is to stop, like, you know, a China from saying, oh, Missy, you're in China. We're Chinese people. We just caught you doing something that's not Chinese and not proper communist. What's wrong with you? What's the matter with you?
Right.
And as soon as that genie gets out of the bottle, so Apple like kind of killed that program because of that very reason. Because, you know, these companies are big and international. They could put something out that is specifically intended for us, but because it's all a product and all a service, there's nothing really stopping, you know, another country will, you know, it's not, you know, well, that's not legal here in America. Well, you know what, here in fuck you-istan, we just made a law, so it is legal, so it's legal, so let's do it. And, you know, your American law, your American-based laws, we don't acknowledge them, and therefore, you know, fuck your American laws, this is what we want. Okay, you're not going to do that. Well, we know this technology exists. Hey, Ariana's company, can you make me this software like this? I'll pay you $1 billion of our whatever the fuck kind of dollars we have. And you're like, sure.
So I was going to say, there was somebody that was saying that even, like, if TikTok does it, I'm sure every other thing does it. But even, it's like, sensitive to how you text. So if you text aggressively a lot, like it just, I mean, it recognizes that and knows you as the person. So I guess it like is tailored to you. But if you, I don't know, switch your hand, like this is what the guy said. I don't know if it is that accurate, but if you switch it up and do other things, like you're using your other hand, it throws it off, so it doesn't really know exactly how to read you.
It's well, kind of like the work computer, because I do have the ability to use YouTube at work. I purposely, when I started working there, did not sign into any of my own YouTube accounts or anything like that. And I have never signed into it, and over time, that particular, it's built up what I'll call a ghost profile of me. So it knows, you know, okay, I've watched a bunch of this guy, a bunch of this one, and a bunch of this one, and a bunch of this one. They don't know who the fuck I am, but they know me as a user, even though I've never signed in, and saying, okay, well, you know, this particular computer, this particular whatever they have.
It's used at this time during these hours.
And it knows that.
My phone, if I get in my car to do something, like if I'm picking up my kids before I go to Ariana's house, every Tuesday it'll tell me how far it is to get to your house. Like, yeah, every time.
My Google Maps
I'm
on my
not
phone.
going there yet.
Google Maps on my phone was doing that for a long time with work, and I was like, that is fucking creepy. Stop telling me that shit.
That is creepy.
It is. It does, because like a lot of times it tells me, if I'm not home, it tells me how far it is to get home. Like almost all the time. That's like just like the main thing.
That was one of the things when I was working at Honda, it would do that. It's like, I've got like 4 more hours worth of work. I know I'm supposed to leave now. Stop taunting me, bitch.
So that's like the one thing. So it knows my work, but I put that in Waze. But even like Apple Maps will tell me, like, but it tells me at a specific time. It tells me when I'm like getting ready to go to work. Like it kind of just knows I'm going to work and what days. I think some mornings it's a little bit off. Like it thinks I might be going to work if I worked that day for a while, like a few weeks in a row. But the majority of the time, it's always going home, because anywhere else, you know, if I'm not home, I'm probably going there. But every Tuesday, it knows I'm going to your place, because that's the only day it reminds me of how long it takes to get there.
That's creepy.
Oh, yeah. Because your address popped up, and I'm like, well, fuck, I didn't even remember her address. I just remember where she lived. And I was like, this fucking thing remembered your address. And I used it one time with your address.
Yeah.
And then after that, I knew where you lived. Like,
Right.
And now the government knows where you live, man.
yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Exactly.
And now the government's gonna come bust down your door and go like, yo, you were talking about us on the butt plug. And they'd be like, we have some beer.
Right.
You'd be like, here you go.
So with that though, so have you heard of Australia, what they're doing there? I've heard this a lot, and I almost believe it to be true. I feel like it is true exactly what they're doing, because they don't have the constitution we have.
Mm.
Do you know like what they're doing
Not
to
a
their
clue.
citizens? So they've been on total lockdown. Like that's just like they have been for a while, and it was kind of like, well, we're just gonna have everybody download this app because you know we just want to track the spread of the virus, so that if you do go someplace, then this whatever blah blah blah. Because
I think I heard about this part.
They tried those apps in America, and I'm like, fuck you, buddy.
right, but they were required to download it. It wasn't an option. It was you're downloading it. So what it was is like it was 5 kilometers that you were allowed to go out of your your house, and there's like certain requirements. It's if your work is within 5 kilometers, you can go to work. Well, most places are shut down, so most people aren't even going to work, even if it was within 5 kilometers. And the store, if the store was within 5 kilometers, and so, and like the other option was like you're allowed to be outside if you were exercising. And I feel like most of that's true. What I heard today was if you're like driving in your car and you're not wearing your mask, you're like getting arrested. Like if the cops will pull you over. And so everybody had to download this app, and because like the one girl is from Australia, like that I watched this video she made the other day, and it was like they're on total lockdown. You had to download that app, and it was like, well, it's just going to be until we have this many people vaccinated. It's just going to be until this. And they just kept like broadening it to how long it's going to be. And so they're pretty much on total lockdown. If you live alone, you're allowed to leave for like 2 hours a day to go visit someone within that 5 kilometers. So you won't be completely like pinned up by yourself. Like the word's missing my mind, but it's basically you have to have that human interaction. So they're allowing people to have it if you live alone. But the main thing is, so it's like this app, you, like they can just send you a random text to this app, and you have to send a screenshot with you in your background within 15 minutes, and if you're not in your house, they will send the cops to go find you, apparently is what it is. Oh yeah. And I've heard that so much, and it's like, I know they've been on total lockdown, and I think that's true. My only thing was like, dude, if I lived there, I would be sending them a fucking dick pic. I'd be like, shh, look, fuck you guys.
What you doing sitting here? Like, well, I'm on
Right.
lockdown, sucking dick. What?
I would. I literally.
And then
like,
you just like dick selfie.
I would. There'd be a picture of me, the background, and my hand on my cock just fucking going to town.
What do their numbers look like over there? Do we know? Like their COVID numbers?
Oh, I don't know. I thought you
No.
meant their phone numbers. I was like, you know what? I had an
I've
Australian
talked to
number pop
Australians
up
before.
today.
I've had Australians talk to me before for the sheet metal business. That's like fucking crazy shit, but things I know for a fact that they do, at least the Chinese, all their shit, like all the public cameras they have out there are all fed into like one big system. Everybody's got like facial recognition to track where you're going.
Mhm.
The biggest trick with like how we work is not so much that you have an existent profile. Everybody's going to have a profile. It's the ones that don't have the profile that are going to be the odd outliers. Like my brother doesn't have any social or anything like that. It's kind of a Luddite that way. He's going to be more of the outlier. They're going to be slightly more worried about him, but less worried because if he was going to do something, it'd be really hard for him to gather a group of people together.
Right.
Without that, extra social networking kind of a thing. Fucking rabbit holes, man. Now we're talking about this. The government's gonna show up at my door, man.
That's right. They're gonna come get you. They're gonna pop.
They're gonna get me, man. I should be wearing my tinfoil hat, not my fucking Mickey hat.
I like some of the shit you watch. It's like it's really fucking like, and you're like, oh my god, this could be really that could be that. Like there was some guy, I don't even know what the guy was doing. This was like maybe a little bit off topic, but the one guy in particular, I don't know what he mentioned in his. I don't know what he had in his. He was running a Facebook group basically, and I think they were trying to take over it, shut it down or something. And he recorded. The FBI came to his house. Like they were like asking him because I guess somebody said something within his group, and they're like, we just need help catching them. And like he was pulled over. He recorded that, and the way he didn't act bad, but he was a little wasn't shitty. But he didn't fully answer questions, and he would answer the questions with questions because he was being harassed. And like they threatened to pepper spray him just because of just the way they were harassing. He had several videos. I was like,
The cops are being a dick to him, so he's being a dick back to the cops.
Kind of. I was like, did he do something like because you don't know what's going on in the videos, and it kind of makes it like, oh no, I was exposing the truth. Like it doesn't say that, but I'm kind of like, with all the videos that are being made, you kind of think it's that, but I think there's more to it than that. Like maybe he did actually do something shitty, or his group had people doing something shitty in it, and it's kind of like,
Whenever I hear phrases like exposing the truth, I figure it's like me walking out in public in a trench coat and just exposing myself.
That's funny.
In my brain,
The truth.
I'm exposing the truth, okay? And your point is, well, the truth's out there, okay? So what are you gonna do to change it?
Aliens.
Nothing. There's nothing I can do. You're right. So work within the system, there, buddy. I don't know.
I think one of the latest things I heard, which is like the CIA has been like reading our minds through, I don't know what they're reading our minds through, but they don't have to be around us to read our minds. And I've been hearing that lately too.
Oh, want to talk about like
Yes, obviously.
like crazy conspiracy theory bullshit.
Some of them are way far out.
It's not even crazy conspiracy shit anymore.
Right.
Spy shit that they can do. I don't know about reading minds, but
Are we drinking another one?
I am.
Natty Light. Natty Light for the lose. Just a sip or two.
You don't have to. Like I can.
Well,
pour
like
it
you gotta
out
drive
there.
home.
Oh no! I mean, I'm completely sober. Oh, you're
I
talking.
gotta finish my pre-beer.
I just completely poured that whole fucking thing in there too. Like
all
I don't
yours,
want that.
I will not finish that much beer.
It'll be alright, we'll just waste it.
Yeah.
Waste it.
No, but what I was going to talk about is like different spy techniques. So for years they've been looking different ways to try to figure out how to look into, like, say, a room from outside it. And
Look in people's windows.
what the hell was it? I was on Gizmodo the other day. There is a new tech they've come up with that they can shine a single laser light through a keyhole in a room, keyhole in the door. And with that single laser light and some computer algorithms, they can now determine, like, the number of people in the room and the various rough shape of the objects in the room.
Do you think they really can?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I
No,
didn't
there was
know
a
if that
fucking
was
like
something that-
there was a fucking demo video of it and everything. It was
I would believe that too.
It was a big fancy like chair-sized device they had hooked up to. But they'll miniaturize it soon enough.
Don't they just have like robot bugs in your house by now?
Probably,
No,
but
no
this
fly on the wall over there is like watching us right now.
it's possible. But this was very much a real thing. What was the other thing I read? They have figured out how to reproduce speech patterns in a room based off of, like, the fuck was it? Like the changes in brightness of an LED light off of a thing. Something to do
So
with
basically they could
something
change
to do
it.
with the way the sound waves reverberate around the room. There's like a little LED light bulb on like any device. It's your sound waves are like influencing the environment, and they've got lasers and things that electrically they can tell the slight fluctuations and then reproduce the sound.
I would believe that.
In that same breath, I read about used to be a diplomat in the 70s to Russia, and the Russian equivalent of the Boy Scouts gave him this really intricately, like, hand-carved, like, emblem of the United States or some shit, and he was like, oh, this thing's fucking awesome. He hung it on his wall right behind his desk. Well, inside of it, there was a little tiny, like, microwave transceiver, completely hidden, like, the size of a coin. And the Russians had it set up so, and this was in the 70s, so they would beam microwaves from, like, one building across the street into his office, and they would hit that thing, and then it would reflect back to another building at, like, say, a 30-degree angle up the street, and they could hear everything he said.
Wow.
The device had absolutely no power, no batteries, nothing. And that was in the 70s. So if they had that much
Right,
ability then,
What do they have now?
that laser,
technology-wise?
the laser thing I told you about, and like, the like sound reproducing, what are they doing now that is not on the internet?
Right.
How's that for conspiracy theories?
The thing of it is, like, I think a lot, like, anybody would say anything, like, all these things, like, the government's watching me, I'm like, no, they're not, they don't give now I'm kind of like, I'm more suspicious, I'm like, ooh.
The government only gives a shit if you're saying things that go against the narrative. And
Right.
And I think, honestly, with the Biden administration, it's less going with the narrative right now. The Trump was more that way,
Right.
There was a lot more anger at that shit during then, at least. At best, now they give a fuck if you just talk smack about the vaccine.
Right.
So, yay, we got political.
You act like you're getting abused, kitty.
I'm an old man, the light's bright, turn it off, I want to go to bed. So, we might be running short, we might be running long. We're
No,
cutting
we're
close.
about right on time.
I said we were recording for a few minutes early. So, aside for our conspiracy theory talk, did we learn anything today?
These beers suck.
The pap smear is not too bad.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
better than a real pap smear.
Not having a vagina, I cannot disagree with you nor agree with you, but I would say probably yeah.
We
I
can
just
give
have
you
to
a pap
have
smear
enough
on
to
the next. I was like, we can give Ron a pap smear on our next show. We'll get that speculum right in there. Woo.
Right up my booty hole. Make sure, if you're going to do that, Ariana, make sure
That's right.
beforehand you cook something that'll go really good while I show in your face.
Oh,
Okay.
God. That'll help lube it up so that speculum can go in there.
What goes good with getting your face shit on? Protein.
There you go. Some poutine fries, diarrhea poutine fries.
You know what that's from, right?
Right. That's what we talked about. Cause you listened to it like the same day I did because I was like, oh my God, I just listened to that.
That's okay. The only thing I'm thinking of right now is just shit and the fact that my daughter got home from school. My big dog Charlie apparently had some anxiety attack or something, and just shit everywhere in the house.
Nice.
He shit in the hallway to the bedroom, he shit in the kitchen, he shit in the living room, he shit everywhere he could shit.
That's no fun.
And she cleaned it all up, and I'm going, oh, thank
What?
God. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm just going, oh, thank God.
Normally she'd just shut herself in her room and just fucking not even.
Like act like she didn't see it.
Yeah. Like that's. She wouldn't even act like she didn't see it. She would just act like, no, I don't give a fuck. I'm not picking it up.
I think the forcing her to get herself up on the bus and not taking any no for an answer is done well.
That is. I don't know exactly what you told her.
I told her 3 strikes and I take your phone for a month. If you miss the bus 3 times, then I take your phone for a month. And if you keep missing the bus, I will keep taking more things.
Well,
And it works.
Good deal. But
And I've encouraged her for getting on the bus. I bought her ice cream the other day.
That's not like, right, that's not along with the poop though. Like,
It's okay. She did what she's supposed
right,
to.
I was really shocked.
Responsibility breeds responsibility.
It does.
One can hope. Or,
I feel like it does.
I'm just
Like-
being fucked with, and in a few weeks she'll just turn back into a hella mega bitch.
That's probably true.
Wah, wah.
16-year-olds, what can you do?
They're gonna get better at 16. They probably start getting better because
I didn't.
my mom said 13 to 16 was the worst
That's funny.
for girls.
Yeah,
Hold
she
the
had,
head under the water till the
fucking
bubbles
4 girls
stop.
in the house.
Anyway, ladies and lesbians.
Right, yeah, no shit.
So, we've learned that there's conspiracy theories, something about poop, putting a speculum up my ass.
Smears.
Pap smears are good. America likes this colored beer. This colored beer right here.
Piss colored.
Because this beer, this beer, this beer, and this beer all look the same and all taste about the same.
That's
The honey
right.
brown was slightly sweeter, but they all are basically the same thing.
To me, today, the natty tasted like the hams normally does, which the natty was fucking bad. And the hams, to me, tasted like the natural light the natty does. I don't know. They switched. Yeah.
So we've had our redneck week. Very soon I think we'll be having some Halloween themed weeks, maybe a German week. Something about Oktoberfest.
That's right. They had some lederhosen suspenders at the Goodwill. They got some, yeah. They were like costume ones, but they looked like they were like pretty good ones.
I saw some costumes on Amazon for like $25, $35.
Yeah, that's not bad. I was like looking at the Goodwill shit, and then they had some really cool rainbow suspenders, but they were really narrow. I was like, I remember you got me the rainbow suspenders when I was like, while we were in school and stuff. I was like,
What themes would you like us to try to have?
that's right.
Yeah. So, time to pick the
Halloween theme reeks.
Reeks.
Reeks?
I
Yes.
think
the
we should
reeks.
just do Halloween up until, Halloween.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
We
Well,
should.
let's plug the website, then plug ourselves with the butt.
That's right. Plug
Stro-
ourselves.
Ready?
Good, yes.
Ready?
Yep.
Strobingbuttplug.com. Like, subscribe, share, send boob pics like this. With less hair.
That was a bad shake.
Wow.